inside, come inside.
Good evening, one and all. Welcome to this edition of Show Business. We come to you for the weekend ending in July 21. I come to you as always as Charles, otherwise known as Sipo. To my screen right is Lindsay.
I am Linzo, and I am here to not make Lizzo jokes because I'm above that.
Yeah, and I'm below that. Hey, I'm Grey Poupée. Pleasure to be here.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I was very wrong about Twisters. Just want to point that out. I bid low.
Yeah, so we'll just open with that. Twisters, big time, 81 million, first place this weekend. I think we were guessing. So the estimates were 50 to 55.
Mm-hmm.
I put up a poll on Twitter, which I'll do it again this week for Deadpool Wolverine. But 5 out of 12 people who voted over, and turns out that they are smarter than us. So 44% of the vote was right in far over 55 million. And that's, I don't know. I don't know. We were all wrong, but is anybody really surprised by it?
I will say I said it's going to do badly, but with the caveat of I've been wrong about everything this year, so I'm probably going to be wrong about this. But I also didn't actually change my vote, so at the same time, I'm still extremely wrong.
Yeah, I've been wrong about everything. Like, I know Furiosa was a prequel sequel thing, but yeah, I thought that was going to do way more. So when that kind of... Every guess that I've had this year has been way off. They have just been wild guesses. So, yeah, I think I went in the low 20s, and I thought Despicable Me 4 was still going to be above this since, you know, it's a 90s reboot quill. I didn't think the iron was hot while they're striking on this one, but boy, was I wrong. I underbid it by 3/4 of their profit. So my bad.
Well, we all suck together. And Despicable Me 2 ended up pulling in, Despicable Me 4, easy for you to say, pulled in 24 million, which still would have been good enough for first last week.
Yeah, damn.
And Inside Out 2 re-jumps back into third place with 12.4 million. Long Legs drops to fourth with 11.9, and A Quiet Place Day 1 to fifth with 6.3.
Wait, so what did Long Legs do last week again? I forgot.
22.
So yeah, exactly half. Yeah, okay, good for Long Legs. Hold strong. Have them long legs.
Especially when the budget is said to be pretty damn low. So this is pretty awesome for them.
Right.
Lindsay, you hadn't seen Twisters last week, but apparently you have since then. What are your thoughts on this?
Were you blown away?
I would. My expectations were slightly rustled by the. I don't know. I honestly didn't care about it all that too much. Hey, Dice. It didn't have any of the character or the chemistry or the heart or really the fun that the original one had. Like, the first one is such an alive movie. Like, there's just fun things happening. And this one, like, it was like trying too hard, but also not hard enough, which was odd. Like, I don't really know how to describe that. I kind of like the opening scene. I thought that was kind of an effective way to set up a character. But then, spoilers, pseudos, not really. About halfway through the movie, they start talking about developing technology to turn tornadoes off. And like, the moment that happened, what little interest I had in the movie just went zero. They were just like, oh, okay, no, this is Geostorm 2. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Having fun over here. Yeah, well, that's my thoughts.
So the prologues are kind of similar from 96's Twister to Twisters.
Well, that's
where
fine. You know, spiritual successor. I don't mind that too much.
I feel
Uh,
like in
no,
this
no,
new
right.
one,
Yeah.
Twisters,
Hmm.
they were tornado chasers to begin with, where Helen Hunt's character in '96
Which is
had a
depressing.
different motivation. She,
Yeah.
as a child, had to deal with that sort of trauma, and it wasn't really, being a college science kid chasing after tornadoes,
That's interesting, actually. Yeah,
and
yeah.
the motivations feel different.
No, that makes a lot
For
of
sure.
sense. Like, well, Helen Hunt has that iconic line in the first one. She's like, "You don't watch the Twister, miss that house and come right for you." And then Bill Paxton's just like, "Jesus, Joe, is that what you think happened?" And it's just like it's an incredible moment where this character says the most irrational thing. But it's kind of hard not to think that sometimes when like horrible things happen. It's a very humanizing moment, and that's also like the moment when, because there's like this interesting love triangle in the original one where his new fiance is hearing him console his ex-wife like that and realizes their relationship's not over yet. It's such a big moment, and I don't think Twisters came anywhere near.
I read something that
Yeah.
said that they were supposed to kiss at the end of Twisters, and a note from Steven Spielberg was, "Don't do that."
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah. Wait,
In,
how did
in
it
this
end?
new one,
Yeah. Wait.
the scene
Did
at
they
the
kiss in the
airport,
end?
they no
Because like
spoiler.
because like he goes and he chases after her, and then it just kind of ends. Like, wait, how does it end? I
Yeah,
forgot.
chases is
Well,
one way to
he's-
put it.
Oh,
If
shit.
I
He's
was
got
at
to
the
destroy
airport,
part of the airport
Yeah.
too.
if I were at that airport, I would be furious. That selfish maneuver in the parking lane. No, I
Yeah,
don't
it
care
seemed-
who it is.
Quite unrealistic when nobody was telling him he needs to move on for like the first part of that conversation. But
Oh yeah, then he
finally they got
drills.
Paul
Oh my
Scheer to
God.
come in.
Ooh, sorry. Yeah.
Spoiler.
No. Yeah,
So, yeah.
that's it. It just blew over me too. Like none of it hung on to me. I don't
Yeah.
remember any characters' names. I barely remember the leads. I remember she as a kid had this like fake tornado town thing that she built for some reason that felt like most adults couldn't build, but a kid just knocked it out of the park one weekend. Yeah, why not?
You build a volcano, she built a tornado thing. So
With a model painted town where everything's like highly detailed.
what does Doc say in Back to the Future? Excuse the crudity of the model. I forgot what the hell the line was.
The scale's horribly off or something like that.
He's got like ketchup bottles as a town square or something. Yeah, I think we're old. I think we're officially too old, because I've read things people have said that this is a charming group of actors. The characters are fun, and they were in for the ride. And I did
to
I
kind
didn't
of
get that.
to kind of champion what Lindsay's saying, though. Can you name one of the characters from this?
No.
Fair enough.
But
can you name one from the first one?
I don't know their
I can't
names.
either. Yeah,
Dusty.
I'm just gonna call them by the actor's name. Fair enough.
Philip Seymour Hoffman was fun in that.
Aunt Meg.
Oh, look at you go.
I don't know if I've got more, but I got those two.
Van Halen was in it,
Yeah, Van Halen.
I think. They premiered something.
But yeah, I don't know. It has a certain charm to it. Like, it is kind of one of those, I guess, popcorn movies. But I don't know. I feel like we had a few of those already this year, and they did not do well. So I just didn't anticipate this going as big as it was. But hey, it's the
Billy.
summer. People are looking for one of those. Billy.
Sorry, Bill Paxton's name was Bill, right?
Was it?
I think so, actually.
Boom! I got 3.
Show him
I've
what
watched
he's
the
done.
movie like 15 years. Woo.
Yeah, you got me beat. Yeah, I just know them by the actors. But fair enough. I think there were some more iconic performances in that first one, but it was the first one, and they put so much into that. Again, like that we kind of talked about last time, but there's this really cool video that kind of goes through the CG that they created just to do like twisters and stuff. The lighting too. They had to shoot everything in like summer heat, so everything that looks like a storm is there in that 96 one. Like it's pretty amazing the way that they were able to do it with a mixture of like digital paintings. They're basically rotoscoping each scene and then digitally like making it dark. It comes off really effective. So I don't know. It's kind of cool. And then they use some of that in the perfect storm, some of the same CGI technology. So I don't know. It's kind of cool. I don't know if they're going to use anything iconic from this one going forward. I don't see this having the same legacy as that first one, but I could see enjoying it. Like, I didn't hate the film, but you do have to kind of turn your brain off that, like, okay, so they're going to stop tornadoes now.
I agree. I
They
don't
invented the
think
tornado switch. Doop.
I don't think 28 years. You could tell that these movies were made 28 years apart. I don't think. I mean, other than putting fires in tornadoes, there's not really much in this movie where it like shows just how revolutionary
There was that
new it is.
tanker that falls in the road. Like, it was kind of on fire. Like, we kind of had that in that first one.
Yeah, but not like I'll give it to
You're right.
Twisters when they have like explosions in the Twister and it's like moving up. It's pretty intense. It's awesome, but I don't know if it's worth sitting down for that and being told that the tornadoes are going to stop. We're going to stop them.
No, it's the switch. Just doop, and they're off. No more tornado.
Yeah, I don't know, but it appears that Glenn Powell is to the female gaze as Sydney Sweeney is to the male gaze, and
interesting. Yeah. I just happened to watch Hitman this weekend as well with him in it, the Richard Linklater one. I don't know. He gets to play a bunch of different characters in there. I can see that he has a certain amount of appeal, but fair enough.
You're going to be combed over with words. Dice has the
I'm good with
exact
that.
quote.
Dice,
Please
you're a
excuse the
fucking
crudity of
legend.
this model. I didn't have time to build it to scale or paint it. That's awesome. Right on. Yeah, it made 81.
Hey, good for it.
There's this other movie that comes out this Friday that is getting a little buzz, and it should be a very strong R-rated release. They're saying that it may end up having the strongest R-rated premiere, and they're predicting 100.
So you're saying it's a hard R?
Yes, it's a hard R, right?
Ooh.
150 millions, $150 million estimated for Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Wolverine, Deadpool, Wolverine, whatever the hell. The next Deadpool movie in the
I think
saga.
it's an and.
Is
I
it
could be
Deadpool
wrong.
and Wolverine?
I think so. I've called it every iteration and been wrong every time, but I think it's and now.
Deadpool X Wolverine.
So, does it meet that expectations of 150? And how does Twisters do on the heels of that?
I think Twisters has to drop. Like, it had a good weekend and a half, but man, I don't think there's any way that Deadpool and Wolverine is going to not hit that estimation. Like, there is actually a buzz about it. It's the most advertised thing of the year. Like, I don't see any way that it doesn't hit that. It's like the only one Marvel is banking on. I've been wrong about everything, so take this prediction with a grain of salt, but I don't think there's any way they don't clear it. I'd say Twisters is probably, since Deadpool Wolverine is not exactly a family-friendly one, I think you'd probably still have Despicable Me 4 and, no, I can't think of it, 2. Thank you. Above Twisters, so I'm guessing it goes down to 4, but that's just me. I said it was only going to make 20, so don't believe me.
Yeah, honestly, I wonder if we all say Deadpool and Wolverine's going to do incredible this weekend, will it flop somehow? Like our luck's been that bad. Will the universe bend entropy to that point where
What's a flop? Wait, what's a flop for Deadpool?
12.
What? It's not going to do that.
Yeah, there's no way it's going to do that. But I think under 100, they're not going to be happy with. But I don't think that would be a flop. Like, I don't know. Hard to say. What would you consider a flop, Charles? You're the box office guy.
Yeah.
A flop? I think if it doesn't make what Twisters just did, if it goes below 81, that's a problem.
I was literally going to say, if it doesn't do as well as the Wind movie just did, that's probably going to piss some people off.
Yeah. Now, Gray, on your cursed version of Twitter, is there anti-Disney backlash on the Deadpool thing?
No, everyone seems to be loving that and just looking forward to it. Some people were offended by the fun accoutrements to the movie, like the popcorn bucket, the controllers, stuff like that. But I don't know. I think it's funny. It really fits with the character. But no, I'm not seeing any hate towards that. Everyone's still hating on the Acolyte right now.
I have not seen the popcorn bucket.
Oh,
Ooh,
what is it?
Do yourself a favor.
It's not as good as the Dune was on accident.
Nothing
but it's still
can
pretty
be.
good. Yeah.
The Dune bucket is its own thing. But yeah,
Have you seen the one
it's
for
pretty
Alien
good.
Rock? Sorry. Have you seen the one for Alien
That looks
Romulus?
pretty great.
There's a popcorn bucket for
yes.
that too?
Yeah, I might have to get that one just to
Come on.
mount on the wall. It looks pretty sick, honestly.
I still haven't gotten any of the Ghostbusters ones.
Like, you remember how in Alien versus Predator they turned an alien head into an arm thing? It's like that. Like, you could put your arm inside of it, but then you'd also fill up the mouth so it runs down your arm. I don't know the practicality of it, but it looks really cool.
That sounds wild.
Yeah.
The technology on popcorn buckets has skyrocketed.
Good
They
thing I
need these
invested
to
in
do
it.
well.
Yeah, the resale value not there yet, but
Yeah.
one day that market might exist. Who knows?
Yeah, I've got an Endgame bucket in my garage. I'm hoping to sell it or retire one day.
If you told me a popcorn bucket would cost $70 on eBay, I would have invested in a bunch of them. A bunch. But yeah, I have seen the controller.
What's the
Adorable.
controller? You keep saying that. What's the?
He's tiny is in the back. It's like a controller holder thing, but it
When you say controller, do you mean for a gaming controller or what?
Gray.
Yes. Trying to look for it now, but yeah, it basically holds the controller. But it does it in its Deadpool fashion.
Cool. Okay, I'm down. That sounds cute. I am interested to see, if nothing else, how does the TVA tie into this? So we're bringing back the old X-Men, the old pre Disney Fox stuff. We've got the TVA in there, so it's modern day
What's
Disney
TVA?
From Loki.
Yeah, I don't think you saw Loki. They're the time
Variance. Authority.
Authority. I
Value
think that's
added
the
tax?
acronym.
Yeah.
They're the guys in charge of the timelines and everything. But I just looked it up. They're actually a Deadpool and Wolverine Xbox controller that, they give you a nice firm grip on the back of the controller, if you will.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. So the TVA. So it's tying into modern day Marvel because I guess that still matters. Or are we trying to pretend like Loki didn't happen because what's his name was tied into all the Loki stuff, and so they're just trying to sweep all that under the rug now.
There's a little low key sweeping, but yeah, I think they're still acknowledging it. But Kang's still around. I think he was kind of teased in one of the trailers, so I assume he takes place in this. But I'm not sure. I think they're still trying to tie it all together, but
I guess this
we'll
would be
see.
a good
This
movie
is the
to
one that's
recast
supposed
him.
to.
Sorry.
Yes, I was gonna say that's kind of what this one's supposed to be, is the jump off point because everything's kind of related through everything, and they're bringing in the Fox universe.
So how?
Hopefully, it's gonna be good.
To borrow a topic from RosalisComics.com, with the Russos signing on for the next Avengers movie, does Deadpool swing back around and become a part of that?
Maybe. They did kind of tease with the Marvels. Spoilers, it is like an after credit scene, but it does involve some of the Fox X-Men. So one of the people from there, perhaps one of the Marvels, is in their world now. So this may be the bridge to kind of connect that to what they're going to do with the future Avengers one. So there's going to be some connection for sure, but I'm not sure if they can afford Ryan Reynolds as the dude. We'll see.
They paid what? $750 million for Downey. I'm pretty sure they can figure it out.
Well, they got to get him back, though, right? I don't know. I'm sure they got to give him even more.
Do they have to bring Downey back?
We'll see. There's been hints of it, but I don't know. I hope they don't. But
or if they do, at least wait a little longer. It's been what, 4 years?
Well, they're already doing Captain America the next phase, so
That's true.
We had a nice little break for 8 months of comic book stuff. Now it's
With nothing but
Deadpool.
ads for this one. I hope it lives up to the hype. I'm pretty biased. I really like the first one. Second one's pretty damn good, but I don't know. Something about this one. Everything I've seen for it seems like it's hitting on the right cylinders. So I'm really hoping this is what they say it's going to be, and I hope it's very successful for them.
Yeah, no, the Deadpool 2 gave me what X-Men 3 didn't when I was in high school, of Colossus versus Juggernaut. So I don't know. I've got
no,
faith.
it's the Ryan Juggernaut though. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, but I mean, I've got a feeling that the people making this at least have some idea of what the audience wants, because they managed to do it. I don't know, who knows. So we'll see. It could be the worst movie ever made.
I think the Deadpool series of movies is something of a warning to heed for these bigger studios and companies. Like Ryan Reynolds willed that into existence, and it was a little tiny thing with by Marvel standards, had like no budget, and it was amazing, and it was contained for its budget, yet still felt like a big deal. And now here we are with a bona fide big blockbuster movie, because those other two came out like in February, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it doesn't work, if it somehow makes less than 100 million, there's a problem.
Woo.
But I think
it's going to make 200.
I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't meet the estimates of 150. It's people have been
Twisters could
talking
get half of that. I've just noticed, like, I looked at the theaters near me, and they're all booked out for it. So I got a feeling, which they haven't been for almost everything. So,
Wow.
yeah, I'm still looking to get my ticket to it, but we'll see.
My uncle take me.
Yeah, it's always an option. He's a good fella, but I kind of wanted to see what it would be like in a big crowd, see if it really does play well. Because I got to be honest, I think the last two superhero things I saw in a crowd did not play well.
Really?
Oddly enough, it's one that Lindsay just saw, the Madam Web. That was almost an empty crowd when I was there, and then now I'm blanking on the other one. Oh, Marvels was probably the last one that I saw too, and it again was kind of a meager crowd, but they didn't seem too hyped for it. So I don't know. I'm thinking this would be a fun crowd movie.
Yeah, especially if they lean on the comedy of it. I do remember having fun at the other two Deadpool movies. Even Emily, who's not really an action fan, she enjoyed the comedy. So
they're funny movies.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like? I thought Domino was an awesome addition to the second one. I'm hoping she's in the third one somewhere. I haven't seen her in the trailers yet. I'm kind of staying away from them, but I don't know. I like luck as a power. That's fun.
Yeah, and they leaned into it and were really meta and humorous about it. Have we had too much of the meta humor in media in the last 10 years? Does that like feel a
lot of
tired?
people have. So I mean, like, there is a series that was all based on that. That would be Velma. Apparently, I'm like the only person on the planet that didn't hate that thing. So I'd say, yeah, it takes a certain acquired taste to like that whole meta humor. From what I gather from other people, they like it in like small doses. So Deadpool has been too much for quite a few, but man, that show is Velma is just nothing but meta humor. So
Yeah.
it's not most people's cup of tea.
Yeah, I've been kind of in and out waffling with Rick and Morty, which is just like so heavy in meta.
Yeah.
And sometimes like I feel like it's over, but like the whole 5th season, I think I just wasn't really feeling. But the 6th season, like it got worse with the meta, but I was kind of won over with the one where they did like the storytelling episode in season 6.
Mm-hmm. Or Story Lord or whatever.
No. That was season. Well, Story Lord is in that episode, but there's like this previous Leon guy.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it had me in stitches.
I was a big fan of Brett Kahn.
Yeah, and his name is Retcon. My name was always Retcon.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit's cute. I don't know. I'm such a sucker. Every time I think I'm done, they do something like that. I'm like, all right, I'm here.
You were born with no bones. Like, oh my god, that was terrifying too. Like,
Yeah, so I don't know. Lindsay, how are you with meta humor?
I mean, it depends. It all comes down to execution, like with most comedy, and also like the people that I'm with. If I'm watching with a group of friends, I might get more into it if everyone else is. Comedy is a very fluid genre in that form of way, but I'm excited as hell. I really am. I feel I love those first two X-Men movies. I know they're not perfect. They are very far from perfect. There's a reason why X-Men '97 had the what'd you expect black leather line in there, to shoot back at them for shooting back at them. This looks like a love letter to that, and I'm down for that. I'm down for a love letter to those movies, because even if Bryan Singer's a creep, even if they're not perfect, I feel like a lot of modern superhero things owe them something. So it'll be kind of fun to see them get a little moment in the sun, I think.
Does the success or failure of this movie change anything as far as superhero movies moving forward?
Well, what's a failure for this movie? Just gotta go back to that question again. Like,
90 million.
It's definitely making $1 billion at the box office, right?
What if it doesn't? What if it doesn't?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, is there a chance that it doesn't? I feel like it's like.
I mean, Dune hasn't hit
guaranteed.
$1 billion yet.
That's true.
Might have just hit $1 billion. Actually, I might be lying.
Yeah, let's double check that. Also, by the way, Maxine's still in the top 10. Good for Maxine.
Is it though?
I don't know. I think this would have to hit that worldwide, but
$1 billion.
Yeah, it is. Yes, sorry, $1 billion. I think it would have to hit that worldwide, but I've been wrong about everything. So again, take it with a grain of salt. But man, I don't see this flopping. But it has kind of changed what Marvel is releasing. Like, aren't they going back to like 2 a year essentially? This is kind of the big release of the year, but I think whether it hits or not, it sounds like we're not getting that like just one after another fired out from them.
What a wild change that
know,
the
right?
Deadpool movie is the big movie of the year with a Captain America movie coming out. That's wild.
Wait, is that this year or is it next year?
Yeah, was it next year, March, April, whatever?
Either way.
It's 25, right?
So
Spring of 25?
By the way, Dune 2's at 711 worldwide.
That low?
Well, 712 technically, because it's like 711 844, but yeah.
I would have thought higher. Wow. I thought that would have crossed $1 billion a
international
long
or
time
worldwide?
ago. That's worldwide.
Huh.
282 domestic, 429 worldwide.
Wow. Okay.
Actually, funnily enough, it's at 429, 700,000, like dead even. Like this.
That's funny.
Yeah.
With that said, I feel less comfortable about $1 billion. Because Dune was big for a while.
That's true. What was the last movie to hit $1 billion? Was it
Barbie?
Oh yeah, Barbie. That's right. Yeah, it was Barbie. Yeah. Also, the highest grossing movie Warner Brothers ever made.
True. Are you talking just domestically or worldwide? Because I thought
worldwide.
I thought one of the cartoons just hit $1 billion worldwide, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, that might be Inside Out too.
Ooh.
Thought so, but I could be wrong. I'm trying to look it up, and apparently
I'm
looking up wrong.
Fuck family.
Fair enough.
Not literally, but
yeah. Inside Out 2 is at 1.45 billion.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it just crossed $1 billion. So yeah,
it just crossed by $500 million.
Just barely, just a hair outside.
It crawled across the line. You got one finger over.
Okay, so yeah, the non-family films, $1 billion seems a little. It seems to have gotten back to normal. Like we got spoiled with all the Marvel, Star Wars, all those movies doing $1 billion, and I think now, especially since COVID happened, things are starting to like calm down. And the $1 billion mark that's not going to happen 10 times a year anymore. I don't think it happened at all, but
How many movies do you think have hit $1 billion since COVID?
Since COVID?
Yeah. I just looked it up. So I know
8?
Gray?
I have no clue. I would want to say it's over 5, but I'm kind of blanking as to which ones they'd be.
7.
Mhm. I
I
found
mean,
an
if it's
article.
Price is Right rules.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Go ahead.
I found an article talking about it, and they list 6 movies on it, but it doesn't include Inside Out, so it's 7.
And what are the other? So Barbie, Oppenheimer. That's 3 now.
Mario, Avatar,
Oh.
Top Gun, Jurassic World, and Spider-Man.
Huh.
Okay, those do all sound like billion-dollar movies to me, but damn.
And that's 2 a year since COVID.
I mean, I think we had 10 in 2019, didn't we? Or 9?
Well,
We had a lot in either 18 or 19.
19, yeah. It was the highest grossing year for the box office ever.
Yep. And then
so
COVID
then this would be the second one, right? So it would stay in line with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the second highest grossing year of the box office.
No, the second $1 billion movie.
I see what you're saying. I'm just like...
Sorry, yeah. No, I just meant the second one for the year. I'm horrible with predictions, and I jinx a lot of things, but I don't see any way that this doesn't make that with the amount of advertising they've put into this.
This is not a
It just seems like it's everywhere. But I think it would be a huge disappointment if it doesn't. I just imagine it has to for them. It feels like it's the big one they're banking on for this year, so I'm assuming it's going to.
So if it does, I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does end up underperforming,
Mhm.
does somebody get shook, and do they change their plans?
I think Ryan Reynolds goes on CNN and shoots himself in the head.
Wow.
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 How much for the AdSense?
Over here. Oh, sorry. Damn. Oh, God. No. First off, quick question, or just a quick comment. 2019, 9 out of 10 of the top 10 movies hit $1 billion. 8 of them were Disney.
Ugh.
Can you name the non-Disney movie from 2019 that hit $1 billion?
Fox counts as Disney?
At that point, sure.
Okay. Is it
I'm totally
Paramount?
blanking. That seems like the before times.
Is it Paramount or Sony?
Neither.
Oh, I'm broken. All
It's Warner Brothers.
right, don't. Warner, 19. Oh, this one sucks. 19, Warner.
Also, fun fact: the movie that came in 10th place so the only movie to not crack $1 billion, 800,000.
800 million.
Yeah, sorry, 8 million. Yeah, sorry, slight difference.
Yeah,
Warner?
that's like my types of math.
Yeah.
What place was it in?
Oh, that is a good question, my friend.
That's why I asked it.
6.
Ooh. 19, Warner.
I know you guys can do it. You're overthinking it. You guys can do it.
I'm blanking as to like what movie came out in 2019.
Dune was out after that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that would have been 2020. I think.
2020 or 2021, one of the two. Yeah. Do you want another hint?
My mind is
A
a
hint
blank
would
to
do
the
well,
before
thank you.
times. Yeah, a hint would be great.
It was directed by a guy who usually does comedies.
No way. Are we about to get the sequel coming up?
Maybe.
Okay. I did not think that one broke. Wow.
It did,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, Charles, you still not sure?
I'm still not sure.
I love you, big
It
guy.
has.
Don't worry.
Okay.
It's
Kind of
should
an
we just say
iconic
it?
character.
Very
Sure.
iconic character. Joker.
Joker, man. Yeah.
That's why I didn't
so
want
that
to say
makes
it. 'Cause
sense.
The moment I said it, I knew it's okay. It's all good, buddy.
I was just
Still
like
love
blanking.
you.
I was like, the Batman wasn't out then, so I don't know what it could be. I honestly didn't think that one crossed $1 billion. I knew it was a hit. For some reason, I didn't see it till after the horrible thing that happened to everybody. I was way late on that one. So yeah. I don't know. I guess I just didn't realize that one was 2019, but it makes sense. It definitely was the before times.
What a clouded year.
Seriously. I can't get over that though. 8 out of the 10 top grossers of the year were Disney. It's like,
That doesn't shock me that much.
right, but like it's it's just like maybe something in the industry needs to change if Disney's pulling in 8 out of 10 of the highest grossers.
Speaking of which,
Yeah, they kind of transitioned to Disney Plus now. It doesn't seem like those are as big of hits. I don't know. How's that? Aren't they supposed to be profitable by 2025 or something like that?
they got time. They got 6 months.
Wait, what's profitable by 2025? Disney Plus?
Disney Plus.
I think it's supposed to be, was the original thing, and I'm not sure if it is yet. So I don't know. It's weird to see it, go from, you were saying, was it 9 out of the top 10 were Disney or 8 out of the top 10? That's to now. I don't know. That seems kind of crazy. I think they're going to get the biggest one of the year, but.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's a good question. How did Disney do last year? Did they? Because I'm assuming they didn't get anywhere near as many in the top 10.
All right.
1, 2.
Oh, it didn't have either Barbie or Oppenheimer. That's interesting.
Wow, yeah, last year, 2023 box office, only 3 movies were from Disney. Elemental, which Pixar, but that's Disney. Little Mermaid and Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I guess you could argue that they probably got a little bit of Spider-Man Across the Universe, but that was a Sony movie, so not really,
I hope that gamble's paying off for them. I don't know. I like a lot of the Disney Plus shows, but
Well, aren't like all streaming services operating in the red? Yes. I know all delivery apps are operating in the red, like which blew my mind.
They're so short-sighted, and none of them have been profitable. Like, even Netflix uses smoke and mirrors to. Yeah, we're doing fine.
They're the kings of that, though. They're going to be fine. Like until time immemorial.
You'll do just fine in Hollywood, guys.
The human race will no longer exist, but the internet with Netflix and porn will still be out there. That'll be our legacy.
A new Netflix series for the cockroaches to watch.
Exactly. They'll have the release is pre-programmed out for like 100 years, so the cockroaches can keep getting.
What's going on, Budster Brown? Check out his 31 on 31, as mine is not up yet. I think when meta humor is written well, it can be really awesome. Unfortunately, it's really easy to write bad meta humor. And when it's bad, it's super cringe. It works great in both Deadpools. I agree. Right on.
Well, so why does it work with Deadpool? Is it because he talks to the audience? Is it because Ryan Reynolds is the most handsome man in the world? Is it just because they got good writers? What's the secret? What's the sauce?
The Reynolds Riz has a lot to do with it. It is the Reynolds sauce. There's a couple other ones where they kind of break the fourth wall and are talking to the audience, and it really doesn't work. So I don't know. This character was designed to do that, where not all of them were, but. I don't know. I'm trying to think, She-Hulk is also kind of designed that way, and those comics definitely read that way, but it did not come off the same way in that series to me. So I don't know. It's definitely tough to write it, and I think, that's a great point. It does come off super cringe if it's kind of written or delivered incorrectly. It's just okay, this doesn't work. I gotta be honest, it is one of those types of humor that, when it doesn't land, it is really cringe. That's a really good point.
That's the thing about humor, man. I will watch a bad horror movie and have a big old smile on my face. A bad drama, I'll be laughing my ass off on that. But bad humor is hard to watch because, it's have you ever been to an improv show? And I've done so much improv, and I've definitely been in ones that failed. It happens, but it is painful, man.
You're asking me if I've been to an improv show.
Well, have you been to a bad improv show? Is the question? One where
I think we've all been involved in bad improv shows.
No comment.
Some might say this is a bad improv. No. We're an above average improv show.
We're incredibly mean.
Yes, and.
Man, I saw a bunch of clips this weekend from that. Whose Line Is It Anyway? That makes me want to go back and just watch the entire show, and then the entire Drew Carey thing, even though it's impossible to find. I got real '90s humors vibes going on right now.
Yeah, I definitely get that. I watched way too much of that show. It was originally a British show. I don't know who's making money off of that thing now, but I remember way back in the day, Comedy Central used to play the British version of it, and they had Ryan Stiles and Colin Mockery on it. Those dudes have been doing it for like 30 years. That same
so
show.
Damn good. So they're just comedic geniuses. Is what it is. Like, and I don't know. Like, I definitely be with people that would like try and be like, oh, they only do short form games. We here do long form storytelling with improv. And I'm just like, yeah, like, don't get me wrong, that's impressive. I've definitely done that too. It's a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, man, you're just trying to put on a good show. Like, it doesn't matter if it's stupid games or if you're somehow constructing a narrative. Like, just go have fun. Like,
Okay, so the hits for 2024, I don't know where I got these numbers from then.
you should just make
Because
them
it has Inside Out 2 at 800 million
That's probably domestic.
with a 200
Yeah.
million budget, but Dune Part 2 has a 790 million against 190. Bob Marley, One Love, 180 against 79, $100 million. That's pretty good. And Bad Boys Ride or Die, 289 and counting against a $100 million budget. I don't know how old those stats are.
Let me double check here. Like,
How many Dune 2s are there?
that's what I'm saying. Like, what was I? Let's double check. Yeah, 711 worldwide. Box Office Mojo. Did you? I mean, I know Mojo's kind of crap sometimes these days. Is there another site with better numbers? Like, the numbers is usually a good one to go to. What are they saying?
I think that's where I got these.
Okay, interesting.
And I got your precious budgets too.
The budget.
I enjoy the budgets. I like to juxtapose them.
Yeah. I don't know. These numbers don't make sense.
Wait, so what was Inside Out 2's domestic?
200.
I wonder if that's what you got for that.
Is it 800 million for the domestic? That's wild.
Yeah, that is actually
That's like very good.
No, yeah, it's 849 international, 596 domestic.
All right. So I'm didn't properly vet.
He's an
those
international fella.
He is. I mean, more international than us.
If they'd let me back, maybe. Other news that I think we skated over last week, if we didn't touch on it. Some other news that came out this week. Skydance, who is taking over Paramount or merger, they're targeting $2 billion in cuts. That's going to be jobs
Yeah.
and
fuck?
other things. I don't have the exact. Wasn't it 14 billion that they paid for Paramount?
That sounds right, but apparently I'm not a numbers guy. But yeah, that sounds right to me. I remember they just outbid Byron Allen, so yeah.
So they paid 14. They paid north of 10. I know that much, and they're cutting 2 billion within weeks.
Are they
what
firing
gives?
the executives that they need to fire? Or are they firing like the janitors? And
I'm going to assume that all the producers keep their jobs.
right, because they're not the ones that are responsible for the things that.
Yeah, I'm assuming divisions are just getting clipped.
Yeah. It's never the people that are responsible for things failing. It's always the people that are just doing their jobs.
Well, I mean, next time you could try this at home too. Next time you watch a movie, count how many producers are there. If there's usually more than 3, it doesn't make sense because a producer's job is pretty
basic.
Yeah, it's the bookkeeper of the set.
Do you do the same for production companies? Like, I'm trying to think. It feels like there's been a few of them this year where it felt like it was a sketch how long it goes on. Like, oh, okay, well, now the movie's starting. Nope. Okay, this is another production company. Okay. Oh, now it's starting. Nope. This is, again, another production company.
That's to salvage. They split costs. So they're not risking as much. Sure, they have to split it 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7 ways, but they're not taking as much a risk on it.
I'm just wondering, if you see a whole bunch of different production companies in it, does that give you a bad sign as well as a whole bunch of producers, or do you see that as different?
It depends. Like the fact that Paramount and who is it? Paramount and Sony? Maybe Paramount and Warner? Was it for Barbie? That was kind of interesting.
I think so. I'm not sure.
The bigger stuff, it's confusing, but when it's like a mid-tier $100 million budget, it doesn't give me as much. But if you're watching anything that's below $100 million budget and they have 3 or more producers, something's wrong. And when they have like 5 or 6 executive producers, that's worse. Those are people that are just cashing checks. Usually, like the lead actor is an executive producer, so they could work the money around a different way. But yeah, it's
kind of nice. You get the EP credit.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that sometimes they put credit, like in Star Trek, there was this famous thing where they wanted to use something from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, almost like a throwaway thing, as a big thing in the next series, Voyager. But in order to protect them legally, so they couldn't get into trouble, they just like added producers from Voyager onto the episodes of Deep Space Nine. So it's like, oh, you see, they all worked on it together. So you see, we're not stealing anyone's ideas, even though it's the same production company and the same producer. It's just like what anyway. There's a lot of reasons why producer names get put on things, and they're rarely good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I don't know. It just seems like greed is destroying a lot of companies, and COVID has really, if any business is just rocked by COVID, it's the theater industry, and
well, the person Warner Brothers Discovery needs to get rid of is Zaslav, but they're not. They're just going to keep giving him bigger and bigger bonuses for ruining more and more things. Like, I'm sorry to get I'll never get how do you tank and write off so no one will ever see a Brendan Fraser movie while Brendan Fraser is up for an Oscar in the middle of a huge career comeback and everyone's loving it? Like, that should be grounds for termination. I'm sorry. That's like
They did George of the Jungle too.
They could probably have sold it and still made less money, so they're not making less money.
It's like, right?
We could write it off for 50 million or sell it for 20, and we're going to write it off for 50. Screw you, viewers.
Yeah, but I don't know. At least put it into theaters. That's my thing, man. That would have made
pay
more
taxes on that.
I guess
It's shitty. Trust me. As people worked on it, I'm assuming crew is pay or play. I would assume so.
Probably.
Okay, but what about streaming? Like, do you have to pay taxes on streaming? Like, it seems like releasing it there would be the same as a write-off, but
dude, streaming
maybe I'm wrong.
Is such a dark corner where I don't know how the fuck they're able to keep those secrets, but they do. I would love to know what the hell they're doing, making a number look like none, and vice versa. Wait, what?
There is, yeah. The first joke of the movie is, studio couldn't afford Brendan Fraser, so they hire me.
Oh man. I feel bad. I should have pulled Dudley Do Right or I don't know, Blast from the Past 2 or something. I don't know.
For the record, I love Dudley Do Right. What's his name as the villain is so good in that movie.
I like Brendan Fraser in
He's good in everything.
Bewitched. No, Bedeviled.
Bewitched.
Excuse me.
Oh, Bedeviled.
Yeah.
Fun movie.
Fair enough. Could be my favorite Liz Hurley one. Can't think of another one currently, but she's in movies.
She's okay in Austin Powers.
Oh, she's great now.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, fair enough. It's top 3 then.
Also not ugly.
True.
Inexplicably.
The original The Mummy, well, not the original, but the Brendan Fraser The Mummy. That one holds up way better than I think it should. I don't know.
So good.
Certainly more than Scorpion King. Ooh,
I even like the second Mummy, kind of. Like, it's not great, but it's still Brendan Fraser. Like, it's still kind of fun. Like, there's a good energy to it. And Dice is right, the Mummy, aka bisexual confusion.
Yes. So speaking of streaming services and the almighty castle that is Disney, the internet's biggest television show has finished, and it's not The Boys. It is Acolyte. 8 episodes. Gray and I had a rather long discussion reacting to some other content. It's up right now on this channel, unedited. I'd like to whittle it down, but I'm afraid that might take me a while. So it's up there in the raw form for now.
Quite the thumbnail on that one. I think way to go on that. It made me chuckle.
Ooh, I need to see this.
Yeah, it says the Acolyte did 9/11
Oh.
because everything's like the absolute worst thing. The Acolyte murdered my family. Like,
Yeah.
all right, take it easy.
Have you guys ever heard of a phrase? I'll look at this bitch eating crackers.
What?
like the joke is like you hate someone so much you're criticizing. Oh, look at the way she eats crackers. She's putting her in her mouth and chewing them up and swallowing them.
No.
It does feel like the internet is kind of suffering with that for this show. There's just hatred about everything. I don't know. My timeline's still full of it. A whole bunch of them were released today about it. So I don't know. Worst show ever, apparently.
Lindsay, how did you feel about the series or the first season as a whole?
Extreme peaks and valleys, but overall, like, I don't know, it was kind of dope, man. It's Star Wars meets Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon with an attempt at a Rashomon. Like, you know, we could do worse. Even if, you know,
There was an attempt.
Right? The chicken might be overcooked a little bit, but it's still perfectly edible, and I'm full, and I'll get through till tomorrow. It'll be all right. Like, I never used food metaphors, and critique is the lesson I refuse to learn, apparently. But I enjoyed it. I think the villain was quite cool. It was obvious who he was going to be. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with that sometimes. The best video game movie for a really long time was Prince of Persia, and it was very obvious who the bad guy was in that, and still enjoyed that. He was very effective. I liked his philosophy. I didn't agree with it, but that's why he's a good villain. I understand why he has the views that he has. I wish he didn't have them, but, you know, hey, I'm willing to go on this journey that he's going on, and they seem to be founding the Sith in a certain way. That was kind of cool. It was really cool to watch a lightsaber switch from blue to red as someone's like trying to decide if they're a good person or a bad person. That was freaking sick.
Yeah, but that's not lore.
Say it again?
That's not lore.
You know
It's
what,
not
man?
how that's supposed to happen. Like, it took Vader 3 tries before he could bleed his crystal. Come on.
Well, maybe she's more of a Sith than Vader is.
They did say her M count was really high. So I don't know. We don't get the exact numbers where we knew Anakin's, but it's different. You know, Anakin also didn't use the saber that killed his mother to you know, try and bleed that along with the anger for the person who raised her, you know, admitting to his past crimes and deeds, if you will. So I don't know. I don't disagree with your crackers analogy before. You know, that part wasn't actually canon before. Like, before 2017, like, red kyber crystals were synthetic, and then okay, now we get that you have to actually bleed a crystal, but this is the first time that we've seen it like in live action. It might not be the best, but you know, this does kind of, now it's actual lore, it's actual canon. I don't know, it could be cool to see what they could do with something like that. But yeah, I think I also agree with your other thing where you said there was an attempt, and I think they really attempted to do a Rashomon thing, and for me, it just wasn't effective. But a lot of the stuff in there was really cool. It's extreme peaks and valleys, like you're saying. I'm just copying you.
Honestly, it should have been like 5 episodes. I think, like, if you go in there with like a hacksaw, and like, but also like make each episode like longer. So like, you know, so I think there was it was like 30 to 40 minutes.
It's very uneven. Yeah.
Yeah. Make it like each episode like 50 minutes. 5 episodes long. You're really pick and choose carefully what you want to show and what you don't want to show in each Rashomon thing. I think this could have been a great 5 episode miniseries. At 8 episodes though, like, it just dragged, and there's just episodes where it feels like nothing happens, and then there's episodes where it feels like everything's happening, and it's great, it's exciting, but then it's kind of back to nothing happening, and so it's like,
yeah, episode 5 is just a fight scene, and it's like, any dialogue? Can we have any dialogue? Nope, never mind.
I mean, there's some cool
There's
character
a little
moments in
bit.
there. Yeah.
You know, Chimera, the stranger is toying with Soul a whole lot. You know, there's some iconic lines like, you know, was that its name? I still remember that line. You know, when poor Jackie gets dispatched.
Oh, that's such a brutal shot. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think when purists, and I don't want to take their fandom away from them, but when they get hung up on things like kyber crystals and how they're put into a lightsaber, you're really forgetting what the magic of Star Wars is. When you were 5 years old swinging a lightsaber, it wasn't about what makes this color. Like
Right.
that wasn't like for normies. They don't care about what the fuck the thing is. It's the majesty of the lightsaber. The color was part of a gimmick. Um, to focus on something, the minutia of why the thing has a certain color, I just think is losing the base of what's supposed to be important.
I also, for me, I didn't know that all bad guys had red lightsabers till I think episode 1 came out. Because it's like, Luke's got the blue lightsaber, and Obi-Wan had the blue lightsaber in A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. But then he's got a green one in The Return of the Jedi. It just made sense. There's just people have different colored lightsabers. It's cool. We could have you want an orange lightsaber? Have an orange lightsaber. But I never. But then episode 1 comes out. It's like, oh, bad guys have red lightsabers. Okay, cool. We're color coding this. Let's go.
Yeah.
So it's like you're allowed to kind of figure things out and make up the lore as you go and change it as you want. Like when lore is this thing that is like rock solid and you can't really do anything with, you kind of run into issues, like especially when new people are coming into something and trying to tell a story, because not everything can be the exact same. We can't just always have these love letters to the classic Star Wars movies. Like you need to try new things, and look what happens when you try new things. We get Andor, we get the Mandalorian, like good Star Wars things, and this was peaks and valleys, but I think the good outweighs the bads. Also the Acolyte.
To be incredibly unfair, what do you think the complaints about this show would be if it was all white men in it?
Well, we ruined my favorite meme ever of Gaston looking at a thing that says the Acolyte on it, and he's just like, how can you read this? It has no white people in it. I mean, there would have definitely been different reactions.
That's kind of shitty, no?
Yeah, it is. But it's also facts. Like, I've got one friend in particular who was just like, man, worst show ever. That lesbian showrunner killed the white people in the first 4 minutes.
Well, she killed all the diversity, like, by the time the show ends. So
also true.
Like, I heard people questioning, like, well, okay, if the Jedi are this diverse, what happened to it? We just saw what happened to them.
Yeah.
Also, I can't get this image out of my head. But like, so in video games, when you find a move that works, you just spam it a lot. So I want to see some Star Wars game with like a Crotosis helmet, and people are just running around, just spamming headbutt, trying to headbutt their enemies' lightsabers to turn them off.
Yeah, I mean, TLDR of the Gray and I stream that's up as of today.
Woo.
A lot of the complaints do not feel personal. They don't feel like the viewer, the person who's discussing the movie, their emotions don't feel there. The thing that makes them distinctly them and what they enjoy about Star Wars does not feel like it's coming across in a lot of these videos. Words like bad writing, Kathleen Kennedy, Leslie Headland.
Well, the moment anytime someone says Kathleen Kennedy, I'm already like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah, and the video we watched, we talked about, the claim was that she's a terrible
businesswoman.
Yeah.
Oh.
Incompetent business person.
That was the phrasing, incompetent business person.
If you want to say she's helmed some of the shittiest content in the Star Wars universe, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But calling her an incompetent business person when she's done more than Jerry Bruckheimer is insane.
Definitely feels like you could say, like, she puts the business ahead of the actual product or something like that. Like, then it seems like you can make a really good claim, but
sure,
I don't know. Like, you just have to look at the money that they're making. Like, you mentioned from 2019. I bet she had a hand in a lot of those.
Yeah. You know how you can, like, prove that she's not a good business person? Stop talking about her.
Yeah.
It's just these things where it's like, okay, you're listing all of these things that you're not saying specifically what the problem is with this thing we're talking about. Bad writing. What do you mean bad writing? What about this is bad writing? And then they just tell.
And there was some of that, I think, in this.
Yeah.
It felt like they sacrificed a lot of like character development for this whole mystery thing, and
I do agree
don't know
with that.
It really paid off. I don't know that that's necessarily bad writing. It's a trade-off when you're trying to do this, overarching way of telling the story.
Characters aren't developed well enough. It's something
like
that I
none
would
of them.
understand. Right. But bad writing is just what do you mean? Like what about it? Oh, this doesn't work because I don't believe it. Okay, but that may not be writing. Lindsay, what do you got there?
I'm calculating how much Star Wars has made under Kathleen Kennedy and
They've
Disney.
made their money back.
They definitely have.
They paid $4 billion for it, and they're operating in the green right now.
Oh no, they've
Wow.
I'm not getting my calculator out because I'm lazy, but just counting the billions and not even the 100 millions, they're at 5. And if you start counting the 100 millions, it looks like they're just shy of 6. So they're up.
Again.
Yeah, and Disney Star Wars, the resort, horrendous flop. I love that video by Jenny Nicholson. She's an absolute treasure. If you love that video, look for the one that she also did about the Canadian church recreating movies. It's incredible. It's actually. I'm not kidding. If you want a good laugh, look up the Jenny Nicholson Canadian church recreates movies. It's amazing.
I'm familiar with that one. It is pretty amazing.
But it's been Star Wars has been operating in the green since like what 2019, 2018, something like that. Like it's
since 1977.
Well, I meant after.
Fair
okay,
enough.
Sir, if you're going to be like that.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like I remember the argument used to be, yeah, well the toys are doing poorly. Okay, but the movies. What about the movies?
We have a surplus of Ray figures. No one's buying the Porgs.
Okay.
I want to make a joke here about Fortnite, but then I remember that the Cybertruck is now a drivable vehicle in Fortnite, so I'm just going to pretend like Fortnite doesn't exist.
So you guys have caught up with The Boys. You can discuss the series that was. I'll forget it by the time I rewatch it, so it's fine.
I thought it was a pretty good ending. What'd you think?
I think it went pretty hard. I wasn't sure if they were going to actually get to where they got to this season or if that was going to come back. And they went pretty hard. The last few episodes went really fast, if you will. I can understand people not liking it and saying that it's too political, but man, this has been political since the beginning. So
100%.
It seems like the natural progression of where you'd go in an election season and in this world. But fair enough. It is pretty damn political, and I guess even to that point, they had to change the titles to where it was just season 4 finale.
Yeah,
so,
what was the original title? Do we know what it was?
It had the name of the act that they. Yeah, it had ass in the title, so in
a nation.
Timing
Look,
too soon.
First of all, guys, there's nothing wrong going ass to ass sometimes. Okay, let's just be perfectly honest here.
That's a Requiem for a Dream right there.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
it's a line. Ass to ass.
Unforgettable.
So were you a Supernatural fan, by the way, Gray?
Yes, to a certain point, and then I fell off.
That's fine. I've never finished it, and I probably never will. But it was really nice seeing Bobby from Supernatural saying "idjit" and then balls again. I don't know if you caught that, but that made me quite happy. But it was a really fun episode. Like the mystery of who the shapeshifter, I thought was handled quite well. And especially considering, we got the Acolyte over there kind of failing to do the mystery stuff kind of well. I felt like the boys kind of, I don't know if they nailed it, but it was, I was enjoying it thoroughly. I don't know if
guessing for sure. I think that the mystery reveal that they kind of did this season, I caught on to what they were doing, but man, the reveal of it was done so well. I really enjoyed that. I think that was done much better if you are going to juxtapose the two whatever shows. It seems like the Boys Mystery one paid off a lot more this season for me.
I mean,
But,
I normally
yeah,
wouldn't juxtapose them. It's just because we're just talking about them.
for sure.
They're
They
so different.
just ended the same week.
Yeah, that's true.
And there was a mystery element to part of the season plot.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for season 5. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, and like I legitimately want to know where they're going with this. I'm
But you're all caught up.
down. Yeah,
What's
no,
all
I
the
don't want to
spoil?
spoil for the audience, like in case someone hasn't watched it. Yeah.
Dude, I will forget by tomorrow. I'll forget by 5 minutes from now.
Okay, that's right.
It just finished last Thursday. We're giving them a little bit of time.
Oh yeah,
but,
the audience, right?
yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, I also am looking forward to it. I had dropped off, I think, after like season 2, and then for Gen V, I kind of caught back up, and man, I'm actually excited for that one too. So yeah, I think this whole universe is quite. It feels refreshing compared to where kind of Marvel has gone, but I don't know. Maybe that's a subjective thing.
I do need to see Gen V. I loved Despicable or Diabolical, the animated
the
thing.
cartoon one.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I haven't gotten around to Gen V yet. And the first season of The Boys is so, man, like I love that concept of we have a superhero we need to kill. It's a puzzle. How do we figure that out? Like, I adore that so much. That's such a fun idea. Then I feel like kind of season 2 kind of fell out of that a little bit. I did like Stormfront and all that. That was cool. And then season 3 was just kind of its own thing and was big and epic and fun. And season 4 was just a wild ride. That's what I'm going to go for. That's how I'm going to describe season 4, wild ride.
Yeah, and they pay off a lot of what they set up. It sets up some major events, and I wasn't expecting them to go everywhere that they went in this one, but they went pretty hard. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I definitely give this one a much higher rating than I gave the Acolyte.
Okay,
But it's definitely going to turn off some people.
so I've looked up the Deadpool popcorn bucket.
Okay.
There are a couple.
Ooh.
There's one where it looks like the hole is out of the backside of the Deadpool bucket. Do they have something that matches that for the Wolverine bucket?
I think so.
I don't.
Oh, okay. So I'm looking at what you're looking at right now. I hadn't seen that before, but there's a few of them. Let's just say that there's a few of them.
Because there's one with like a great big mouth open on.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even look like it has that much popcorn in it, to be honest.
They look a little tiny.
You're not buying it for the popcorn.
Oh,
It's the collector's item, sir.
yeah. Well,
It adds to the enjoyment.
oh, I'm looking at the Dune thing. Holy smokes!
Oh, you hadn't seen that before?
No.
Oh.
Really? This is your first time seeing the Dune
Yeah.
popcorn bucket? So that is the pinnacle of popcorn buckets. Nothing quite. It's got the built-in regulator. You can only grab a couple pieces at a time. Plus,
awesome.
It just the resale value on those seems to be pretty strong still.
Okay, now I'm looking at the Alien Romulus bucket. That's
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I want one of those.
Kind of decent. I'd be down with the xenomorph head.
what is this? Somebody has an egg? Yeah, what's with the popcorn bucket market?
Industry. It's definitely become a thing.
I want a hatched egg popcorn bucket. That's awesome. What the hell's going on here? You got to choose which popcorn bucket that they have available to get, not just the one.
Probably have to go to the right theater.
Yeah, I think some of them are like AMC exclusives and vice versa.
Theater's like, listen, people aren't coming to watch the movie. Let's just sell popcorn buckets. We'll make our business there. Your drink comes in a face hugger?
That could be so cool. Think of the straw
Is that
technology
true?
they could use.
That would be
No, I don't
awesome.
think so.
Sick.
Don't speak things into existence, Dice, if they can't happen. I've been let down over nothing.
I mean, you could make one, crochet yourself a lovely face hugger
It's
mask.
going to take like at least 10 minutes. I don't have the time.
Okay. True.
So this has got to be the peak of the summer here. This Deadpool this weekend. What's next after this? What's the biggest thing moving forward? Is it Alien Romulus?
Probably.
For me, it is. I'm not seeing any other ads other than Romulus. It seems to be quite big this time. I don't know. Are you guys more with your fingers on the pulse? I honestly couldn't tell you what else is coming out this year. I would have to look and refresh my memory.
Considering how much I mischaracterized Twisters, my finger's nowhere near the pulse. But Alien Romulus, I mean, I'm being selfish about it. I am very fired up about it.
The trailer is so good. Like,
I'm trying not to watch anything else about it too.
Like at one point, Chewbacca shows up and he gets like a face hugged, and so then we get like a Wookamorph, which is a xenomorph with a Wookiee.
So,
and
you joke, but they're all under the same roof.
yeah,
How do you think the backlash would be if there was some crossover from Alien to Star Wars or vice versa?
I mean, if it gets us a Wookamorph, I'm down.
Do you think the normal rhetoric would be appalled or on board with it?
Well, me as a healthy, like, well-adjusted human being would be like, ooh, that's something I haven't seen before. I'm down.
Yeah, but the Kyber crystals, they
Right.
don't
It's true.
turn green for the alien.
Well, they'll turn to acid, so because you'll bleed them with the xenomorph blood. So we're gonna get a xenomorph Jedi.
But yeah, it looks like there are a few big releases. I forgot about Harold and the Purple Crown, the movie that everyone has been wanting to see since the children's book.
I don't care about children's movies.
Borderlands, I mean, it's coming out.
Oh.
It's IMAX release.
Oh, that's right.
Jamie Lee's in that, isn't she?
Yes, she is. There's quite a few in that
It's
one.
a big cast.
I think Kevin Hart's in that too.
Oh yeah, he's in everything. You got Kevin Hart and Jack Black again in this. Good times.
The one thing
Alien
that annoys me
Romulus.
about that movie, it's so small.
Oh, boy.
So right as the original Borderlands came out, me and a bunch of friends got into this band, Cage the Elephants. And for both Borderlands 1 and 2, they used Cage the Elephant songs as their intro. And so it annoyed me to no end that when we finally got the trailers for the Borderland, it wasn't any Cage the Elephant song. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, sorry. Just had to vent that.
You're being a Star Wars kid, you know that, right?
Yeah, but like
Kyber crystal color.
Damn that bitch eating them crackers.
So you mentioned Alien Romulus. I totally forgot that same week. Horizon: An American Saga - Chapter 2 is coming out.
Oh, the next.
I do want to see it. It didn't feel like 3 hours when I watched the other one, but it didn't feel like a complete movie. So I'm hoping this one will be kind of the Empire to its series, so to speak. But yeah. And then the weekend after that is The Crow. I don't know if anyone's super excited for the remake of The Crow, but
I love the dude
Calling
playing
it
it.
now.
Like, he's dope. I love him. Which Skarsgård is
15
it?
million.
I always forget.
Bill, I believe.
Yeah, he's great.
15 million
yeah,
if it's lucky.
Just Boy Kills World. That I love that dude. I'm starting to like that dude a whole lot more. That Bill Skarsgård.
I
But
forgot.
after that, oh sorry, go right
An
ahead.
executive said that The Crow 2024 was unwatchable.
Ooh,
So there's that.
you never know. The
Sure.
makeup looks decent.
It ain't my money. I don't care.
So then September comes in with Beetlejuice. That one actually, I'm interested in it. I don't know if they're going to truly capture the essence of it. Again, why are we doing this like 30 years later? But fair enough. Or I guess in this case, almost 40. But
Do you think we'll get the third one, Beetlejuice?
It has
if we're lucky, yeah. Oh no, we are saying Skarsgård all wrong.
Skarsgård.
Thank you for your correction. Closer to an O. Skarsgård.
Good. Oh, that's Denmark.
Oh, that makes sense.
Either way, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong.
Thank you, though, sir. I appreciate that.
I don't remember which one's which. Nah, it's been too long. Not like I would know anyway. Yeah, Scars good. I can't. My tongue can't do that.
What's funny is when I first read that, I was like, Skarsgård should be pronounced closer to O. So I'm just like, oh, the last name is just O? Bill O? Well,
Yeah,
that makes
Bill O.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Skarsgård.
they have
Skarsgård.
letters that
Okay.
we don't, and they're pronounced e, e, e. And
No,
it's like,
I love getting people's names right. So honestly, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, Marcy.
I like going the other route.
Marcy. I'm probably not pronouncing that right.
I just like making up my own pronunciation. It's like a nickname that I gave that person. And then it shows how ignorant I am. So it works in many ways for me. So yeah, the end of September is like Transformers 1, if anyone cares about that. And then Megalopolis, the next one.
I heard
Which,
that's freaky.
it's kind of cool how they kind of keep doing those in different generations of filmmakers. And then, we got Joker Part 2, Folie à Deux, right after that. So there are some big ones still coming out. And then Terrifier 3, then one after that. So, yeah.
Wait, I have to ask, how is Joker 2 going to do? Is that a flash in the pan and then it dies franchise?
I could not have told you that it did $1 billion on the first one. That was a surprise to me. Like, I knew it was a hit, but I did not think it was $1 billion hit.
Can we get to August before we talk about the September movie, please?
Fair enough.
But yeah, it looks like, other than the purple crayon, I think Deadpool is it. As far as
Borderlands kind of got pushed, but I'm not hearing anyone like really championing that. Like it doesn't sound like the fans of it are really happy that they chose the actors they did, or
I wouldn't see it doing
or the soundtrack.
Twister's money.
Yeah.
Which is so weird.
So I don't know.
That.
Where I am seeing a bunch of people who like Aliens excited for Alien Romulus. I don't know. I kind of think that's the next big one, but again, I'm wrong about everything. So.
I forgot.
Now I'm blanking on his name.
Isn't it Fede Alvarez?
Yeah, Fede Alvarez.
I want to say yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah. I knew it was a horror guy. Whatever happened to that one the District 9 guy was supposed to make? Man, that would have been interesting. I Romulus looks sick. I'm down, but like that District 9 dude is wild, man.
Oh, yeah. Didn't they dump that?
I think so.
After
From what I understand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rosales. Yes. Twitter's is the benchmark for 2024. Woof.
Oof.
In a nutshell.
Man, I hope the next like disaster movie that's about like, I don't know, like a big wave or something. Oh, we got a tsunami coming. Hit the anti-tsunami button.
I'm trying to remember if it was 9/11 that trend just died, where like all the volcano movies, all the asteroid movies, all the volcano movies, then 9/11.
The trend might be coming back. Like Marcy's pointing out, like at the end of the year, we're going to get Gladiator 2. So, what's old is new again. Who knows? Disaster movies might be next.
Because the disaster movies ever go away? Because I feel like Roland Emmerich's always making
2012, it's just big shit. It's just CGI porn.
Shit, yeah.
Like, hey, you want to see Los Angeles get absolutely annihilated? Okay. Here it is.
What's that line that they have in that movie? It's just like, honey, I feel like something's just tearing us apart, and then the whole store just like rips in half, and like she's on one side and he's on the other side.
It seems somewhat symbolic. I think I get that.
Yeah. So there's a lot to figure out this week, but I would really be surprised if Deadpool does not. 150 seems kind of low for me, to be honest. I mean, especially if Twisters does 81.
Yeah, Deadpool's got to be worth double Twisters, right?
Yeah, I think it clears 150. I wouldn't be surprised if it does 200.
That'd be sick.
I don't even want to say because I'm so wrong always, but I'll lowball it again. I'll go. It's going to clear 100, but I don't see any way that it wouldn't like double it. Twisters, but I guess I've been wrong about everything else this year, so who knows? There's always an opportunity.
Lindsay, what did Deadpool and Deadpool 2 do their opening weekends? I know Deadpool 1 was like February that movie came out.
It was about $12.50 and $26.80, I think.
Really?
I'm just making numbers up.
Oh, I could have
It's like,
sworn.
wow, you knew those off the top of your head. That's impressive.
Could have done his homework.
Let me do my homework.
I think
Get
one
outta
was
here.
very strong for February.
So Deadpool Uno cost 58, and it's. Oh, here, actually, let's hold on.
Just opening weekend.
Yeah. I was looking at the okay. Opening weekend, Friday to Saturday, 129.
Oh, part one.
42 plus 42 plus 47. Yeah, so when you include the 100,000, it's probably like 130, 131. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 131. Excuse me.
Oh, and weekend 3, and so weekend 2 saw a 10% drop, and then weekend 3 saw a 0.2% increase over weekend 2. That's cool.
And what about part two?
Man, why do you have to?
I don't care where it was shot and what the catering company was. Just opening
British
weekend.
Columbia with British Columbia Catering Company. So it opened in March. And for the 3-day, it did 53, 40, and 31. So oh wait, so that's 93. That's 125, 126. So it did slightly worse than Deadpool 2 did. That's interesting. 125, 125 million. I got it right here. Actually,
180.
Wow. Yeah, I'd have to imagine it's. I'm going to go 20 million. Yeah, it's like going $1 on this. I don't want to overbid it. I can't see them not making the projection, but I guess it could happen. Just, I don't know. The advertising force that's been behind this, I can't see them not making their money back.
They're doing one and a quarter in the winter.
Yeah.
Everybody's
I have
off.
to assume 150, no problem. If
By
my
the way,
theaters are any indication, those first shows are booked.
Yeah.
I misspoke. It actually had a 57% drop its second weekend.
Can you not lie on the show, please?
I was looking
numbers.
at the days when it said it went down 10%. So I apologize. I'm going to just go sit in my corner now.
We don't. Lindsay's takes are not officially endorsed by Show Business Incorporated.
Sir, I am Show Business Incorporated.
I'm trying to see. No, not here. What do we got here? I'm looking at Showtime's. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's right. We can see those ahead of time right now.
Oh, wow.
Are yours booked out too?
Everything but the first two rows.
So that's kind of how mine is too. So I'd like to enjoy it, I don't really want to go to the first row, but I might have to. But yeah, if this is any indication, my theaters have not looked like this for quite a while. So it reminds me of the good old days.
Wow, there's a 3:00 showing at the theater that I usually go to on Thursday, and it is completely sold out, including the first two rows.
Nice. I haven't seen this. I mean, Dune 2 had some push. It was a little hard for me to get into the IMAX one with the special. Now I can't remember exactly what that one was, but it's still not like this. So it makes me happy. I remember when people used to like camp out to go to movies and stuff. It doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like that. Whatever you want to call it, need to actually see it opening day has been there on a lot of these, but. Hell yeah. I'm glad to see that this does have it. I assume there's no way they're not making 150.
Oh,
yeah.
I have to agree with that here because I just noticed something that I hadn't noticed before. I've spent the last 2 years while I was working at that bar lamenting the fact that pre-COVID I could get off work at 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30 and go catch like a super late night screening of a movie. That's not a thing anymore. Theaters rarely have anything after 10:30 anymore. They have showings for Deadpool on Thursday going until 12:15 a.m.
I have 1:30 here.
Oh, you're a beautiful bastard.
That's
jealous
Thursday
of that.
night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's take a look at this 10:45. Oh, and so some of these later ones are still pretty open, looking at the seating on them. But as the day gets closer, those will probably fill up.
I'm looking at 25 showtimes on Thursday. It's going to make 25 million on Thursday.
6, 9, 12.
on
15,
Thursday.
16, 17, 23, 4, 6. Yeah, I've got 27 screenings Thursday. Wow.
Remember when
Okay.
things came out on Friday? And it came out on Friday?
Yeah.
Like midnight to be early, not 3 p.m. Thursday? Those were the days.
Yeah, so there's that 3 o'clock showing, and then there's a 4 o'clock showing. That's crazy too. A 5:30 showing, because it used to just be a 4:30. Jesus Christ, because it used to just be like 7 o'clock onwards on Thursday for the new movies.
Yeah. It's just becoming a joke at this point, where it's just like, what is this? 3 p.m. Like what is that? Doesn't make any sense.
By the way, have you noticed a thing at any of your theaters out there? I can't remember what it's called. I've seen it at the AMC near me a few times, where it's like a secret screening. You don't really know what it is, but it's like described as a classic movie. You don't know what it is. It's like $12.50 or something like that. You just go in and you just, whatever it is, you just see it. Part
It's
of me
kind of like
wants to do it.
what a Fathom event is here.
Oh, you don't know what they are ahead of time?
Well, Fathom events is,
They're hard to fathom sometimes.
Oh,
something that, classics that are shown, except what you're watching.
yeah. That's why I think the mystery of it's interesting. Like, what would they show? Would I go in and just see like something good, or would it be like
I'm not dropping $12.50 for you to just put it on random.
Yeah. Well, if it's something terrible, I guess I could just like hop into another theater and just watch another movie.
Nope, never mind. All right, so that should do it for this week. Let me just double check.
No, let's keep going. Let's talk about the Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Archery.
The app's going to kill us anyway, so
That's true. Okay,
we don't have that much time.
Saved by the app, Sipo. You're lucky this time.
So I'm assuming one of us, if not half of us or all of us, will have seen Deadpool by this time next week.
Assuming so.
I'm going to boycott it.
Okay.
One man boycott.
I might be the odd man out. All depends on my uncle.
That's right.
Pretty sure your uncle will come through.
I think so. My uncle was clutch with Maxine, so yeah. Oh, how is
Good
that
fella.
going, Gray?
I have not seen those 3 yet.
Okay.
Ooh,
I'm up to 50 for the year, so yeah.
Take it easy. Slow down.
I could not do that. I had to just keep watching. So yeah, I'm kind of struggling to come up with a favorite so far, but yes, I do need to watch those now that I've hit the 50 mark, which is where I wanted to be. Now I want to look at those 3. So I think those will be the next 3 on my thing, but soon.
Gray has hinted at something that we're going to do, hopefully before July ends, and we're going to do a 2024 year in review.
Ooh.
And much like I did with Cody, maybe he'll join us in January about the entire year of 2023. Some favorites, some not favorites, some surprises, good, bad, whatever. At the halfway point of 2024, and then some. And Lindsay's doing some of his work too.
Am I?
Watching movies. Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No, I watched 3 movies this week. And honestly, I know that's not a
Hell
lot,
yeah.
but for me, I hadn't done that in a minute. It felt so good. Like, you have no idea, guys.
Well, she saw some of the greats of this year, so that's awesome.
I saw Madam Web and Godzilla X Kong. Kong gonna give it to you. Like, or X gonna Kong it to you, whatever.
That
The
movie
Monkey Glove movie.
did silly. That movie did money.
It really did.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I didn't hate it. It's amazing that this MonsterVerse continues to be the only other like interconnected franchise that even like slightly works outside of Marvel. It's amazing.
Good for $500 million. It's just doesn't matter. Good for $500 million.
Yeah, every release, $500 million.
And my mind like gets wiped 2 hours after I've seen it. All I know of is the monkey that gets used as a weapon. Like that's the only thing that sticks out in my head from that movie.
11 from Stranger Things was in like 2 of them, I think. I couldn't tell you which 2 off the top of my head. There's like 3 of them that I always mix up.
Yeah. The COVID era, like where it came out that weekend to VOD, it was like, oh, I could watch that at home. Weird. And she was all grown up.
And I still really like, honestly, Kong Skull Island. I adore that movie. And the director for that has been working on a Metal Gear Solid movie for like 5 years. I am so goddamn pumped for it. Like, I am excited. What about you guys? You like Kong Skull Island? Am I alone on this one?
No, you're not.
Okay, cool.
No, I liked it in a fun way. You do it. Yeah, I mean, like, you do have to kind of turn off a certain part of, like reality or whatever, but it's a great escape. I absolutely love it.
Actually,
And,
Brie Larson's in it. I hate that movie.
based.
Wait, but guys, this is the movie where they map an island by dropping an assload of bombs on it. Science!
11 was in 1 and 2. Thank you, Rosales.
Oh, is that what it was? Thank you.
Bad Marcy.
Ooh.
Maybe Drake will join.
Ooh.
Do you know about that rumor?
I mean, there's a lot of rumors about Drake going around right
Drake
now.
in 11? All right. I'm shutting it down. Jesus.
Shut it
She's
down.
not 11 anymore.
That's true.
Fair
if she stays in Hollywood, man, I think she's gonna be a big thing too, because she's fucking talented, dude. At least I think she is.
Is she?
I think she's pretty good. Yeah.
She's
She
no
thinks the Earth is
X-23.
flat.
She's no Daphne Keane, but like let's get her and
Yolandi?
Daphne Keane together in a movie.
Yeah, Jackie Lawn.
Yolandi to me. Sorry. Lindsay, what do you got coming up?
At the start of August, I'm doing a live stream talking about Star Trek Picard. More details as that is coming up, and that's the only specific thing I got going on right now.
Okay. And if we're doing the year in review halfway point, expect Lindsay for that too. Greg, what do you got?
Nobody
Looking
expects
forward
Lindsay.
to. I mean, more people should. Yeah, if we're doing the 2024 movie recap so far thing, that in the near future. Other than that, I should be dropping some videos shortly, but they're taking way longer than I initially thought. But yeah, some hot Acolyte videos coming soon. So
Nice.
Yeah, subscribe for that. But other than that, doing fun content with Charles.
By hot, I'm assuming lots of footage of Manny Jacinto with his shirt off. I'm not pronouncing that name right at all, but
Manny Jacinto. There's definitely a video on that guy and Star Wars being too sexy now. But yeah, what can I say?
Star Wars being too sexy, the thing that invented the slave Leia fetish. Too sexy. Okay, Internet.
Did we get a taste of that on Thinkers, Greg?
Yes. Yeah, I kind of got the tip of the iceberg on that one, but man,
Very
there's
good
just
points.
so many people going off on it that like, this is not Star Wars. Star Wars should never be this. And I disagree. So while I was researching that, there's another thing that people keep saying, kind of this buzzword thing that Charles was talking about earlier. So that's led to a couple of videos that should be out sometime shortly. But I feel like I'm talking about them way too much. Charles, what do you have going on that everyone's going to look forward to in the near future?
Well, just keep your eye peeled. Some version or another, one or all of us will be involved in the next thing you see on this channel.
There we go.
Thursday will be on that darn kiddish channel if she's feeling better. She's been kind of under the weather for Thinkers. And Sunday, you should probably catch some variation of this crew over on Rosales. This Comics Sunday. What is it?
Super Sunday wrap up.
Is it?
It's the
11
Super Sunday
a.m.
wrap up. Eastern, yeah, I think so.
Do I have that
I believe
wrong?
so.
I think it might be noon or 10 a.m.
Perhaps
I know
it's
I wake up late
12
for it.
a. Yes, I think
Rosales,
it
catch up,
is.
please.
I think it's 7 a.m. Pacific time. So your mileage
So that's
may
10
vary,
a.m.
but
Eastern.
yeah,
Yes, over
I believe
on
that's the
Rosales'
case.
channel. If you subscribe, you'll know when it comes. Just hit that bell. And that's the week. And then after that's done, we're right back here next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We haven't done. Well, we've done a Friday already, so we're gonna be expecting Chauncey. We did expect Chauncey today, but she's a little busy.
No one expects the Chauncey Inquisition. Sorry,
it's fine. It's fine. I don't want any of you to expect her, but when she does show up, we'll be privileged to have her here. She will try to be here, but she's very busy, and we certainly appreciate it.
And any day that you guys want to go, again, until I get my work stuff figured out, like I have a lot of free time right now. So if you guys want to go a different day or do like a special thing about the day, let me know. I'm down.
You ruined the opportunity to watch Madam Web for an audience and maybe garner some funds for yourself.
Could have been a fun watch along.
We could have had such a fundraiser for you.
Let's do it anyway. Let's just do it. Just do it. I'll just pretend and just be like, "Oh my lord, Sydney Sweeney in overalls! I've never seen this before." God, those overalls and those glasses were doing some heavy lifting in a couple of those scenes to try.
Well, she's got quite a set of lungs. Of course, it's doing.
Yeah, they were lifting heavy. Yes.
Well, I just mean like the '90s. Like, oh, let's take a hot girl and make her look dorky. Overalls and glasses, go.
She's kind of stealthy with her attractiveness.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the fact that she was also like a schoolgirl outfit for half the movie is like, okay, well, now you're just not even trying.
Well, on that note, hard cut, guys. We'll see you next time.
Oh, dear Lord.